Good morning. So, I know you're dying to know what's going on here on my sailboat. Vesta. Vesta is my sailboat, by the way. What does Vesta mean? I'll get back with that later. So, what's going on today? Well, what's going on yesterday is the question. Fun with electrical systems and plumbing. Two of the major systems here on a boat, and I've got a lot to learn. So let me introduce you to one of the key components here. So here we are in the V-berth, also known in layman's terms as the bedroom. So this is the front of the sailboat. Goes into a V. This is where I sleep. Underneath my bed is the water tank and the holding tank for whatever you deposit into the toilet. On the boat, it's called the head. I want to pull that toilet out. I want to add a composting toilet. But yesterday, all I wanted to do was add water to the freshwater holding tank because there was no more coming out of the faucet. So I don't know what happened. I was fiddling around in here. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway, so take a look here. That's kind of what's down there. Okay, well this is what's underneath my bed. That's the holding tank for deposits. That's the freshwater tank, and one of these hoses, I believe it was this one, is supposed to put the fresh water into that tank. Well, I didn't fill up a lot because I want to work on the system, but I filled up some and I didn't see any in the holding tank. So I don't know where that water went. And then here's the bathroom. I haven't been using the head because I don't know if it's working well. So I use the bucket. But I don't know what happened. I hadn't pushed any buttons, but I lifted up that and it's full of water. So that's a mystery. I was putting fresh water in the holding tank and now there's dirty water in the toilet. Who the hell knows? Okay, I figured out what I did wrong, and luckily it's not a major deal. Just a minor misunderstanding. Like I said, I wanted to just fill up the freshwater tank. The freshwater tank is right here. The holding tank for toilet deposits is right there. Anyway, so out on the deck, there are usually little, metal caps, for hoses to go in. So you're going to you're putting something in or you're sucking something out. So there's fuel, there's fresh water, and there's dirty water, toilet water, black water you might call it. So I was putting water into the black water tank, the holding tank, which was supposed to be sucked out. So could have been much worse. At least I wasn't putting water into the fuel tank. That would have been a complete disaster. So I was smart enough to know the cap that was closest to the engine was the fuel. The one that was closest to these water tanks was the black water tank. The tank for the hole for depositing the water was hidden under the anchor locker, so I didn't see it. So I was filling it up, and luckily I didn't put in a lot. I was only putting in a little because I knew I was going to work on the system, so I just needed enough to wash some dishes for a few days. So I stopped at just the right moment because I was putting water into that holding tank. It filled up, and that's why it started coming back up the toilet. Had I continued, it would have overflowed, and still it would have just gone into the drain because there's a drain in the head with the cozy shower in there. The head hasn't been used in a while, so I don't think there's any icky stuff in there. So anyway, so at least I figured it out, and it's not a major deal. But now I have to empty out that holding tank, which means I have to go to the pumping station and vacuum that stuff out. Or I can go out to sea and use the manual pump and just pump it out into the water. But you're supposed to be out to sea, and I know nobody around the marina here dumps their waste into the water, but no, of course not. So that's what's going on here. So this is what I mean by the caps here. So you take that cap out, that's where the fuel goes. Next to the pilot house up here. And the forward starboard that's the pump out cap. And those were the only 2 caps that I found. So I thought that was where you put fresh water, but I was wrong. You come up to here, and this is where the anchor is stored. And under there, that's where the water goes in. There's the anchor chain. So, live and learn. It's all good.